always came down on Leo's side. I could already picture her disappointment and hear what she'd insist were words of wisdom. "Don't say I didn't warn you. Cooping yourself up in that shed of yours Monday to Friday, spending your weekends in front of the telly." Whenever Mum described my life, she always tended to oversimplify. The numerous hours I spent reading, dog walking, or with a sketch pad and pencil never got a mention, while the shed, as she liked to call it, was, in fact, a pottery studio. A man like that was bound to get bored. As for what you look like... I ran my hand through my wet, half-curly, half-straight mop of hair, while my eyes settled on the old jeans and sweater that sat crumpled in a pile on the bathroom floor. A bit of a tidy-up once in a while wouldn't go amiss. It was not a conversation I looked forward to. Dismissing thoughts of my mother altogether, I inhaled a huge gulp of air, held my breath, and sank my whole body under the water. I listened to my heartbeat reverberating in my eardrums, a sound I found strangely comforting and womb-like. Concentrating on the rhythmic da-dum, 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 I tried to empty my mind of woes. A shadow cast over me, and my eyes flashed open as someone grabbed my shoulders and yanked me up from the water. Panic-stricken, my pulse quickened, and arms flailing, I attempted to defend myself until, finally, my assailant let go. "Jesus, Tess! What the hell are you doing?" The colour had drained from Leo's face, and his shirt was soaked. Standing there, he stared at me horrified, while I stared back, gasping for air. "What the hell are you doing?" I asked, coughing and spluttering. I sucked much-needed oxygen into my lungs and waited for my breathing to settle. "Because if you're trying to give me a heart attack, you almost succeeded. I shouted up, but you didn't answer. I was seeing how long I could hold my breath for." Putting on a brave face, no way was I admitting to self-pity. "I thought you drowned." Leo plonked himself on the edge of the bath. He dropped his head into his hands for a moment before returning his attention to me. "I thought you were dead." My eyes widened. "And I thought I was being murdered." Leo took a deep breath and exhaled, before standing up again. He picked up my bath towel and opened it out for me to step into. "Time to get out of there, I think. Don't you?" I looked at my shriveled, deathly pale skin, and knowing he was right, hauled myself out of the water. I let him wrap the towel around me for what felt like the last time, closing my eyes as he kissed my forehead and squeezed me in his strong embrace. Resting my face against his chest, I could have stood there forever. Unlike Leo, I soon realized, who, after a few short seconds, was happy to let go. "I'll see you downstairs, yeah?" he said, turning to leave. He paused in the doorway, and as he gave me a final glance, I struggled to interpret his expression. "You're one strange cookie, Tessa Cavendish. You know that?" Watching him disappear, a wave of sadness washed over me. I wished I could say that we'd fallen out, argued over something to the point of no return. At least then I'd have understood his strange behaviour, and neither of us would be walking on eggshells. Drying myself down, I realised it was time we were both put out of our misery. Chapter 2. Heading downstairs, I wore my favourite flannelette pyjamas. If I was going to be an emotional wreck, I wanted to make sure I was at least physically comfortable. Having assumed he would be in the kitchen, putting the finishing touches to our last supper, I was surprised to see Leo sat on the bottom step waiting for me. Then again, after the bathroom incident, even I'd lost my appetite, and as I imagined us both sat at the table, forcing food down our necks, it felt consoling to know it was a meal neither of us looked forward to. I slowed in my movements to observe him. Despite what he was about to do, my heart went out to Leo. Hunched forward, he rested his elbows on his knees and his chin in his hands.